the most important resource in all of Awaken Chaos is this. I want to very briefly talk about something that people have requested a lot, which is where is the in-game grind? What exactly is it that I need to be doing in order to progress? This game has one thing and one thing only that is basically stopping your in-game progression. Now, you might think it's getting the right heroes. It's not. You're going to eventually get the heroes you want, even if you're stuck progressing. And the reason I say that is because this game throws free summons at you every day, every week. You can get plenty of free summons. And if you can farm anything at all, you can eventually get some free legendaries, etc., just by farming normal summons and then eventually turning those into advanced summons. I have a video on this you can watch on the channel. And eventually you'll get to pitting and pull legendary. So basically the heroes in this game aren't the real problem. You can tell this because if you look anywhere in like comments, Reddit posts, reviews of the game, people are saying that this game's so generous. I'm pulling a legendary. It's free to play. Another legendary you get when you start. It's because it's true. You get a lot of heroes. So the heroes aren't the grind. Now, a lot of people will probably say, okay, well then it's the glyphs. Like the glyphs take forever. Yes, they take absolutely forever, but you can actually farm some of the lower stages, make it faster once you got Zatlux, which is a free to play hero, grind through them, and you know, whatever. You can just auto battle them. That's not really where the grind is either. There is one spot where the grind of this game is that is going to make people quit, and that is your gear. You probably saw this coming at the start of this video. The gear is the real grind in this game, and the gear itself is going to be your largest barrier to clearing content. If you're seeing some people clear content way easier than you with like the same ascension on the heroes, it's because their gear is drastically better. Getting the right combination of the right hero with the right gear completely changes the viability of this hero. Santis and Ganglio, like my last video that covered it, are great examples of this phenomenon. If you look here, the curse set basically makes it where half the time you're going to apply like double the poison. It's 35%, but you get my point. It's not even the abilities, because a lot of these heroes literally don't even need their abilities level. It is the gear. And so for that reason, the most important resource in all of Awaken Chaos is this, okay? It is your gems. It is your gear enhancing gems. So no matter what you do, you cannot waste these. You have to save these until you get gear that matters. Now you might say, okay, DM, well, how am I supposed to do that when the gear that I have isn't strong enough to beat the next dungeon so that I can clear through and then save the gems and get the gear? Fair point, can't really argue with it. You're gonna have to put some enhancement tokens to some of the pieces of gear to get a little bit stronger so you can actually farm the gear. But if you go to the dungeons and you look here, go to the dungeon, we're gonna go, let's just pick one of them, let's say Queen, okay? And you look at stage 10, 4 and 5 star up to legendary artifacts, stage 9, 4 and 5 star legendary artifacts, stage 8, 3 to 5 stars. So you want to do at a minimum stage 9. However, stage 11 is where it jumps up and you start getting 5 and 6 star artifacts. Now, if you want to know why that can be important, if you actually go and look at your quest, you go to achievements and it's under, I believe it's under development actually. Own 50 items of gear enhanced to plus 15, you get something for that. But if you scroll down, weapon collector, helm collector, armor collector, you see these, you see how I'm like 58 out of 60, 83 out of 90, because when you obtain the amount of 5-star plus epic or legendary helmets, which you can do with the lower stages like 9, just not as, it's not as quick as stage 10 on, you're gonna get legendary charms for those particular pieces of gear. And this is an infinite thing. You can just grind this out. Every 10, you're going to get yourself another charm, okay? You can also get charms straight through the endless trials. So, excuse me, not arena. So if you go to dungeons, you go to endless trials, and you go through these battles, not only do you get it for the first clear, but when you actually go into these and you're doing them, the individual battles can straight up give you these charms as well. And some of these battles can be quite quick, so you have to do your endless trials. That's another way you can get them. However, there is one other way that you can actually get gear charms while just farming glyphs and jello, and glyphs being the other part that takes forever, which is kind of an underutilized spot. Now, it may not be 100% the best thing to do, but you can actually straight up buy advanced gear charms for these hero essence tokens. And if you don't know what those are, I got a video on it, but let me show you very briefly. Let's use some normal summons. You do a tempo of normal summons. You see you got some heroes. Some of these you care about, some of these you don't. So you just go through and you open a bunch of these guys, basically. Okay, so you get some heroes. Now, if we go and we actually go to the altar and we go to banishment here and we scroll down, look, the 2-star uncommon heroes give us these blue things, so you can just go in and crunch these guys in. And yes, it's a terrible ratio, but you can actually farm these infinitely. Okay, you can farm these infinitely because all you need is you just need your bread, basically. So your normal energy, and you're gonna be farming the glyphs anyway, and when you go to the campaign itself not only gives you the glyphs, but then gives you the shards too. That's where you get the normal shards. So while you're farming the campaign, and yes, you will get other gear here, which you can use to crunch in. So here's another little known thing about why you can actually level some pieces of gear to like 9 or 12, and then use that to get better gear, and then not feel too bad about it, is if you go and actually look at the gear. If I take a piece of gear, like let's enhance this, okay? And I take another piece of gear, like look at this one, okay? So this piece of gear here is gonna give me 500 experience for this 4-star one, okay? Now, instead, if what I do is, let's just go to manage gear, let's go to helmet, and we know it was 500 experience, okay? So we're gonna find that 4-star common helmet again, scroll all the way down, there it is, this guy right here. So if we enhance this, and we're gonna give it a 3,000 experience. So we give it 3,000 experience, okay? So now that one has 3,000 more XP. Let's go back to our helmet, let's enhance it. Now let's grab this same helmet, okay? You see how it's 2,050 experience now? So I actually got a little less than half of that experience back. So you can actually level some pieces of gear, use them temporarily, and get some value back out of them by crunching them into your gear, sort of a la Genshin Impact, where you can roll stats into other stats. That's basically what this does. This doesn't mean that you should waste your experience, because currently what I'm doing is struggling even to get gear experience. This is your ultimate grind in the game. But what it does mean is you can farm glyphs. You can get your normal shards. You can turn those normal shards into hero essence. You can turn the hero essence into standard charms. You can take those standard charms, you can level the pieces of gear temporarily. You can then use those pieces of gear, go into your dungeons. From there, go the queen, like 10, 11, preferably 11, right? Where you can get guaranteed 5-star, but even 10, 9 will work. Hell, 8 will even technically work, okay? And you can then eventually get the quest ones also, which will give you the legendary guaranteed charms for those particular pieces, and then you can use those to roll up and etc. That is basically the progression path that you want to do. You don't, now the hero essence is the one part that people in this comment, I already know some people are gonna watch the whole video, go straight into the comments and tell me you're wrong, blah, 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 blah about the hero essence. And if those people go into the comments, feel free to make fun of them because they didn't watch the video. Because what I'm gonna tell you is this is horribly inefficient. This isn't what you want to do with these pieces. But what is basically the bitch of this game is the gear. So if you're desperate for gear, you're stuck, you're running out of energy, and the only thing you have left is normal shards, this is something that you can do. Even the Jello, I don't think is like a terrible experience. I crunch, look at this. If I crunch 10 of those uncommon champions from a temple, there's 10, okay? By, let's do 10 worth, which is that there. That's 50,000 jelly, just for that. I mean, just for 10 of those guys. And the thing is, you get tons of these shards for free. I mean, I don't do a lot of grinding, to be bluntly honest with you guys, and I have tons of these things, so you will get them. But it is way more efficient to actually farm the dungeons and then use the dungeon gear to level it up, crunch the other gear. And small tidbit about gear real quick, when you go to level gear, I just want to show you this. You can actually crunch in all of the same type. If you click and hold, it actually crunches all of the star and rarity rank directly into it, so you can save yourself some time there. That has been basically my progression. That's how I did the gear. That's where I got to where I can basically auto everything. And to be honest, I'm just kind of chilling in the game right now because for the most part, I've autoed everything and I'm just doing guides talking about the game and what I think should be covered. Tower, I could go into Tower and talk about Tower and how you can use those rewards, etc. too, but I don't think that's really a viable spot. In fact, if you look at the only thing from Tower, because I know some people are probably going to mention, well, what about the Tower? You look at the rewards here. You can see you get some shards, you get pumpkins, and you get diamonds. The only thing that really is valuable about Tower when it comes to gear is you can basically use those diamonds to buy more mule coupons, which will get you more normal shards, which will get you more experience, which will give you more gear from farming in the campaign. Some people wondering if you should farm campaign gear over dungeon gear. You should not. Dungeon gear is where you actually want to farm it. They nerfed campaign gear for the people that don't know, so it drops way worse. It used to actually be better to farm campaign over the dungeon. That's about it. Hope any of this helped at all. Hopefully you got at least one thing out of this video that you thought that's a good bit of info. And if you did, let me know what it was in the comments so I can focus more on those type of things. Love y'all. Thanks for the subs. We're still gaining tons of subs, still gaining tons of likes. All these videos are doing great. I'm hyped about the game still. Everything's going good. If I look a little tired, it's because I just played 35 hours of Lost Ark. Love y'all. I'll see you on the next video.